office setup here. And we're live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Deadhead Podcast, episode 13, where we'll be talking everything God of War Ragnarok. Well, at least the first 10 hours or so. So we're glad to have everybody back. If there's any newcomers, thank you guys for showing up. And we're ready to get into this one. How's it going, Jan?
I'm doing just fine. I can't wait to talk to you about all the God of War Ragnarok we've been playing.
I'm interested to see your take because I had mentioned to you this morning that I had some thoughts, but I'm gonna let you have the floor first because a lot of things I might say might sound very controversial.
All right.
So I mean, not like bad, but like for some reason I've been seeing on Twitter that like if you say anything negative about this game, people lose their shit. And so I imagine
was the best game ever, of course.
Right. Yeah. Right. So I have a few things I want to say about it, but first, don't forget to go over to repsports.com, support the channel, and get yourself some Raise Energy. Any kind of Rep Sports merch. They have T-shirts, they have sleep aids, protein powders, all that, and you can get a 15% off discount code. Our discount code Deadhead96. Get 15% off your entire order, and you'll like it. My favorite flavor as of right now is Voodoo. And I tried to send Jan some, but I'm not sure if they ship over there. I don't know. Have you looked into that?
I did, and they did not seem to as of right now.
Oh man. Well, that's a shame. We'll have to find a way. I'll have to find a way to get some to you, or you come by and visit or something. I have to get you some.
Yeah, sure. To become one of you, right? One of us.
Oh yeah, you got to. Well, all right. Well, I guess we'll get right on into it. So I believe now. I think Jan can correct me here. Well, let me ask you this first. Have you played any more since we last talked, or have you?
Yes, I have.
So you have played some more. So are you around the 10-hour mark, kind of like where I'm at?
Yes,
I'm like 10 and a half.
I'm on the 12-hour mark.
Oh wow! Okay, all right.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I've been putting in work. I've been on the grind, but yeah, I don't want to spoil you of anything. But I cleared out the area after Ironwood. By the way,
okay. Okay, so all right, so so we can get on the same page. I'll tell you where I'm at. Sure. So I finished everything in Ironwood. By the way, worst part of the game so far. Okay. Sorry, I'll get into my thoughts later. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Anyway, I finished Ironwood, and I'm actually with. I'm sorry if there's a blue light shining in my face here. I'm actually with Freya and I think Anaheim, I believe. That's where I'm at, and I'm not that far into that.
You mean Brock? Oh yeah, Vanaheim. Yeah.
Vanaheim with Brock and Freya.
Yes. Okay. I know where you're at, and you haven't, but you just started that area, right?
Yeah. I mean, do you know? I mean, so have you made it to that point?
Yes, I did, and I cleared that part.
Okay.
I cleared the Vanaheim story part of that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, I just started, so I don't know anything much. Like after like the first initial sequence where you meet up with I think Freya's brother and stuff.
Yes.
And that's pretty much where I stopped. So just that's about as all I know. So I don't really want it spoiled for me too bad, but I'm okay if you slip. It's not that big of a deal.
No, it's okay. I can talk about my thoughts without spoiling anything.
Right.
I'll see.
What I want to do is I'm gonna let you have the floor for a little bit because my throat feels a little tight for some reason.
All right, gotcha.
I've had the worst. I've had a pretty bad day at work. So, but I was really excited about coming on the show because I want to talk to you. Want to talk about God of War. So, with that being said, I'm gonna let you have the floor and tell me your first initial thoughts of your first 12 hours or so of the gameplay and the game as a whole. And from here, go ahead.
All right. Well, thank you. So, I'm being kind of jumping on the bandwagon here. I'm being kind of part of the crowd, but I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm liking it a lot. I already see how disappointed you are about my take. But let me explain this. Let me elaborate. So, I always really let me give you my background on God of War. I've never been a huge fan of the original games. It's not that I dislike them, like I appreciate them. It's never been my kind of thing. Like all the gratuitous violence, the button mashy approach to combat it has. It just wasn't really my cup of tea. So when the 2018 sequel came out, I was a flabbergasted. I could not believe that this is the same God of War that I've been seeing throughout my childhood.
Right.
I thought that the direction was great, the story was fantastic, the dialogues, the world building, everything was just so detailed and done so well. I mean, done with such maturity also. There's this great contrast between, well, it's not a contrast, it's I think it's a simile, right? You have Kratos fighting his past. The past is always catching up to him, right? He's trying to kind of forget about that. He's trying to renounce all about his past, but he has to save his son, right? And I kind of feel that that's how the franchise also feels. It's trying to do its own thing. It's trying to be new. It's trying to be fresh. But everyone still remembers God of War as that, not really trashy, but as a kind of not so serious, not so profound kind of story and kind of game. And there's this fantastic part where
you better watch out what you say. You got
well,
some, look, here's what I'll say.
Profound isn't all right.
Yeah, look. So what I was going to say was, look. So I'm not one of those people, right? So I'm like, really, you can consider me fairly new to the God of War lore, I guess you can say, which is crazy because I love Greek mythology. That was something I studied in school. I love like the stories, but I never could really get into it for some reason. It just didn't pull me. It just seemed like a hack and slash, and I'm not a big fan of hack and slash. So that. But here's the I don't want to interrupt you because I know you're getting to a point there. But what I will say is you got to watch what you say because there's some devout people that love those original, and there's a lot of lore there. I will say there's a lot of lore.
There is no. There is a lot of lore. There is a lot of lore. I'm not shitting on the lore. I'm more so shitting on the storytelling there, right? On the character. How about this? The characterization of Kratos. How about that? Kratos in the original games he's a very stoic character. He's a classic. He has a tragic backstory. He's a fantastically built story. Don't get me wrong. But what we get during the game is just this one guy who just wants to fucking murder everything, right? Who's always angry, right? Which is it does well what it's trying to do. But in the newer God of War, he's a more layered character, right? You're gonna see more the conflict within him. What I was trying to get at, there's this one part where Atreus tells Kratos, he tells him, well, I mean, I don't get it. Why do you hate the gods so much? There are some gods that can be good. Like you never did anything bad, did you? You only killed those that deserved it, right? And he just kind of sits there. He goes, right. You can see, but there's a moment of silence, and it's kind of a theme throughout that game. I think that, so long story short, really like that game. There's also a great part when he gets the Blaze of Chaos back. It's kind of like he has to return to his old self, and there's I think it's Athena that tells him like no matter how much you try, you'll always be a monster, right? Yeah. And again, I feel like that's also like the franchise looking. Okay, so yeah, you try to do your own thing, but you always have to go back to the Blaze of Chaos. You have to go back to your roots. You cannot renounce that. So that was fantastic. But as much as I liked it, there are a few things I did not like about the 2018 game. I think that as much as I loved the first boss fight, that was also the best boss fight. I remember when I first played it, I was like, oh shit. I mean, if this is the first boss fight, just imagine what the other ones are like, right? No, it's just that. It's you fight the same fucking troll with a fucking stick, with a fucking pole about 10 times. The Valkyries were good, but they were like side content, as great side content as this. God of War, as I remember, God of War was about this huge boss fight, right? It was about spectacle. It's about it was about epic. We didn't really we did see that, but not as much. I think that the 2018 God of War was more of a contained story. It was more of a personal story. It did not feel like a clash of the gods, like clash of the battle in the heavens, between heavens and earth. It felt like, this very personal, intimate story, which I really liked. Now, Ragnarok, in the secret ending of God of War 4, I guess, they teased that fight with Thor, right? And I thought, okay, so God of War 2018 was laying the groundwork. Ragnarok is where, Ragnarok comes in. We're fucking fighting. This is back to what we like, the spectacular, epic fights. And as far as I'm concerned, for these 12 hours that I've played, it delivered. It delivers from the very beginning. God of War Ragnarok feels like everything that it's set up. Like if 2018 was a calm before the storm, Ragnarok is the storm. You have it retains all the qualities of the original one. Bear with me, I'll be over in a sec. It retains all the quality of its predecessor, right? Like the combat is there. The what is it called? The one camera shot. It has a name. I don't remember what it's called. The camera shot without cuts. The one shot. The one shot camera angle is there. The dialogues are there, right? The character writing is there. But now we are actually going to war, right? And the story is also about that. About, is war right? Is war what we want? Is war the answer? And we have all these characters who kind of have different takes in it. And even those that are on the same side, they're on the same side for different reasons, right? And the game explores that. You know, there's Kratos that is really protective of Atreus. Atreus is like, well, Dad, we cannot just hide in the woods forever. We got to do something. We got to be active. And Kratos goes, listen, I've been there, right? I get it. I know what you're trying to do, and tell me it doesn't bring to anything. War never brings anything good. And Atreus goes, well, does just fucking sitting here, just waiting to die, does that do anything for you, right? And then a bunch of other characters get in the mix. I don't want to get too much to spoiler territory here.
Right.
I really like the dynamic. I really like the Kratos having to do with his teenage son dynamic. I really like the action scenes so far. That first action scene, the first fight against Thor, dude.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, they topped the Stranger. They topped the what's his name?
I don't know.
No?
I don't know.
I mean, okay, so at first, so the 2018 one has the advantage in the sense that it had the element of surprise. It was innovative, right? The fights against Thor, at least at the beginning, to me, it always seemed like kind of a rehash.
Right.
But then it escalated, it elevated so much that I'm like, okay, this is right to be on its own, to be held on its own, and I like it way more. I mean, dude, when he fucking, there's like a QTE that you cannot win, you're doomed to fail. The game over screen starts up.
Yeah,
and Thor goes, no, I'll tell you. I decide when we're finished. And he fucking, yeah, that was fucking great.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So I like that. I also like, from the more technical side, all the additions they've done to the combat. The Blades of Chaos have way more utility now. Well, since you have them since the beginning, as opposed to the 2018 one. Now you have more. Atreus is not the only companion you can have.
That's right.
Yeah, you have Sindri for some parts. You have what's her face, Freya in some parts, and you customize them way more. Like they're not just sitting NPCs, or you just tell them, okay, shoot when I tell you to. There's more depth in that. You also, spoiler alert, you don't get to play just as Kratos. You get to play as Atreus. And I personally really like his parts. I know you said you didn't like Ironwood. And to open a parenthesis to talk about that. Okay, I really like the beginning and the end of Ironwood. I like when he got there. I like when he made Angerboda, or however you pronounce her name.
Yeah.
And like it felt like we were getting somewhere. Not quite a climax, but a shift. What do you call a momentum? Changing momentum. Like throughout the whole game, Kratos and Atreus are like fighting over. Shit, Ironwood isn't real. Just stop talking. Stop thinking about it. But now, oh shit, it's real. Not only that, there's one more giant. And this is what I like about the story. It always keeps you on your toes. It's even when it's predictable, you're still excited about what's to come, right?
Right.
And so that's why I really like the beginning of Ironwood. What I did not like was doing chores. I do not understand why couldn't all of that just be a cutscene. Yeah. I mean, I understand that it's complicated with a one-shot view, but just give me a montage of Atreus and her, just fucking around. And Atreus is asking her the questions that she has, because that's what that section is all about. You're just pushing buttons without really thinking about it. Well, the main thing you're doing is listening to their dialogue. You know, Atreus has all these questions, and Angerboda isn't just a Deus Ex Machina. She's not just there to answer questions. She's a character of her own, of course. Which, again, which in any other, not just game, any other movie, she might as well have been. You know, a lot of movies would have just done that. You know, she's just a talking info point. Just tell you, okay, everything you didn't know about the story, here I am. Right. No, she's layered as well. And I really like that what happens, you know, at the end. There's this whole thing where Atreus at the beginning is really excited about someone finally accepting him as Loki, right? And telling him, yeah, no, fuck yeah, I am Loki. This is my destiny.
Yeah.
But at the very end, he doesn't really understand what really happened. He's kind of frightened. He's also kind of disappointed in himself. And he says, you know what?
Call me Atreus.
Call me Atreus. I really like that moment. So yeah, I like that. I'm sorry. I don't know what I do not. I'm sure that in like future playthroughs, I'll be kind of dreading it. But as me experiencing the story for the first time, I really liked it.
Yeah.
So what's there? Okay, one more thing. So I've been praising it a lot. So let me at least balance it out. One thing, it has a little problem where it's not really a pacing problem. I think pacing, I guess it is a pacing problem. So between all of these segments, there are parts where video game has to video game. So so you have like a huge section where Atreus and Kratos are, you know, just on a rowboat, right, through these marshlands, and have to fight some fucking, I don't know, some underlings. I don't even know what they are. They're just roadblocks, right? I just want to get to the next big part, because it really feels, as I said, like an epic song. Right? In Popeye, we are seeing history in me. We're literally, this is stuff from prophecy, and it's great. It delivers. But in between, you have these sections which are not boring, because the combat is great, the customization is great, everything, whatever you want. But it is a bit underwhelming, right? Like a second ago, I was fighting fucking Thor, and I'm fighting, I don't know, fucking Earth lizards. And the animation is great, but I just don't care, right? Let me get to the part where I meet the wife's old friend. I want to see that, right? What's it called? The rebel. I want to meet the rebel.
Correct.
I guess that's kind of a problem that all video games have to face, and you know, they did what they could. Even the side quests are more interesting than some of the main objectives. I don't know how much you toil around with that. But have you freed the animal, the island animal? You haven't.
Where is that at? What realm?
That is in the dwarves. The dwarves realm.
Oh, yeah. I've done that one.
Yeah.
I did the mine one. I thought the mine one was pretty good, even though it was just a beat 'em up. You know, you had that one.
Yeah.
Big,
you mean the one where you have to close the
close all the mines down. That Mimir, he had I forgot what it said. Like and I love Mimir, by the way. I love Mimir as a kid.
I love all the characters, really. Yeah. I mean, Mimir is one of those characters that it's really going to be really annoying, or you're going to love him. And fortunately, he's a lovable kind of character.
Yeah, I believe I've done that one. I freed the animal. I did the mines, and then the one that I did recently, as far as side quest goes, is I forgot what it was. It's the other one I'm trying to think. It's the one where all the what are they called? I hated this realm in the first game in 2018. It's where they got these flying. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's the side quest in that where you let out this big ass looking like jellyfish looking thing.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know the names. I can't remember. These names are so confusing. Yeah. And that one, that side quest, dude, I almost quit the game because like I love Kratos and Atreus' dialogue in that, because Kratos went off the beaten path where he wouldn't normally go, and even Atreus is like, "Why are we doing this?" And Kratos is like, "You heard something is in danger, so we're going to go set it free." And Atreus is like, "Yeah, I heard it, but why?" Kratos is like, "Let's just go do it." And you come to find out that by the end of it, it's actually really touching that Kratos said the reason why I did this is because I know I don't have much time left on this
That's right.
not on Earth, obviously, because they're in Midgard, whatever. And he said because
On this life,
with Ragnarok, and I wanted to spend more time with you, and so that was the whole reason why you did it, was to have more of like a
that's great
bonding time, and I did like that. That was pretty good.
Yeah, but I do agree that I think that side quest is one of the most egregious. It's just way too long for it to sound good. Because like the dialogue was good. I think that final moment when you free the fucking jellyfish or whatever it is, that was good. I did not appreciate how much of it there was. You have like a bit like 10 sets of those puzzles where you have to find the right angle. I hate those fucking mirrors, dude. But you know what this reminded me? There's speaking of dialogues, like not in cutscene dialogues, but like during gameplay dialogues, I really liked. There's this part where when you're with the spoilers, when you're with Tyr, right? And you're going in Alfheim, you forget why you were there. And every time you go off the beaten path, Tyr goes, "What is he doing?" And Atreus says, "Oh, my dad likes to be very thorough, right?"
Yeah, my dad loves
treasure. Yeah, we always look for loot. And I swear to God, every time you go up the beaten path, Tyr goes, "Man, your dad, he's really, you're really trying, right?"
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And Atreus goes, "When the last time we were here, there was a treasure chest right there." They even said they got to a callback.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot why you were, because y'all were going there for, is it to find the prophecy? Is that what it was, to show Tyr the prophecy of Ragnarok? Pretty much. Is that why you were going over there to Alfheim? Because I'm pretty sure there was a. I hate that realm. I hate that realm, man.
Like aesthetically, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
but I do not like fighting the elves.
No, they're fucking annoying. I mean, sometimes they're fun to fight, but they're just annoying, man. That's what it comes down to.
And there's way too many. There's way too not too many elves in one fight. Too many fights.
Yeah.
It gets to a point where every time I'm in an open area, I'm like, please let there not be a fight here. Please, for the love of Christ.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Yeah, I remember now. Yes, it was because Atreus was, feeling that there was something there, and there was the great secret, right?
It was that projection, and showed Tyr leading an army and all that. Yeah, I knew they were.
And about Odin doesn't have the full picture of Ragnarok, right? He thinks he's got an ace up his sleeve, but actually, that's pretty good.
So overall, you are having a good time. And don't feel bad. By the way, I heard you say, "I'm sorry, have a good day." No, I'm sorry. Dude.
I'm just saying it because you're fucking sighing over me talking. Every time you say, "Oh, this is great," you go,
if I'm doing that, I don't mean to. I swear. I'm a little congested. I am a little congested. Right. My throat is a little tight, so I'm like trying to clear my throat a lot.
Okay.
No, listen. If you love the game, there's no problem with that, dude. It is like, I can tell you right now, before I get into what I'm gonna get into, it's a masterpiece visually. I do have some things I will say along with that, but while the way it looks next gen. It plays really well. I love the character designs. I mean, everything is great. The snow looked awesome. I mean, like the realm that I'm in now, where you meet up with Freya and Brock, it's like in a rainforest. I mean, dude, it looks like something straight out of Uncharted. I mean, it looks really, really good.
It really does.
The visual fidelity is out of this world, and I'm playing on performance mode because I'm not doing that 30 or 40 FPS bullshit. But I think it runs 4K 60, if I'm not mistaken. So you're still getting, I'm pretty sure. So you get that visual fidelity at 60 FPS. So why would you go any lower? I heard somebody.
I never understand people.
Yeah, I heard somebody say on Twitter, they said, I'm going to play it on 30 FPS because I've been playing on 30 FPS for years. So if I can get the high fidelity with the lower frame rates, I'm going to do it. I'm like, man, you're a fucking idiot. Like, why?
That's like, you know what? I'm gonna do? I'm gonna swap my PS5's SSD with an HDD so I can get a slower load time, because I've been playing a lot of slow load times all my life. Why change that?
Stupid. All right, so Real quick. So we
Yes.
talked about this on one show. I'm about to show you something, and you're probably gonna look at me judgmental as hell.
Oh my
It
god.
just
Is
it
that
just
another
came.
controller?
Shut up. It just so it just came in today. I've had a rough day at work, but it did get put a smile on my face when I saw it. And we had talked about this on a show, how we both said, nah, man, it looks horrible. Why would you buy
No.
that? I bought it.
Is it the Ragnarok? No. Oh my god, dude, you did it. You mad man.
So I don't know if I'm gonna open it or not. But the
Mhm.
reason why I got it was because I was watching a video of this guy who was like doing
Mhm.
an unboxing of it, and it
Okay.
looked a lot better than I thought.
Mm.
So I was like,
Okay.
well, damn, I gotta get it. But I got a really good deal on it. I mean, I didn't pay hardly much for it, and it's like sealed. And I was like, well, damn, I don't need, but I don't know if I'm gonna open it. So I'm trying to decide on that.
So you got mofo is what you're trying to tell me.
Yeah, so, yeah. Um,
Well,
so I'm trying to decide if I want to open it or if I just want to keep it because I know it'd probably be worth more if I kept it, but I also want to
I
see it.
mean, do you want to sell it? Well,
I mean,
ask yourself that.
I'm not looking. I don't think I ever will. But I know
Well,
things
then why do
hold
you care
value.
how much value it has?
I
I
don't know.
mean, what I mean is how much monetary value it has. Because I've been there where you've been, right? I
Right.
had like I had times where I would buy a game like, and it was like a day one steelbook edition,
Hmm.
and then I would buy a regular one because I did not want to open the steelbook edition, right?
Oh God,
Because right,
I'm the same.
but it's
I'm the same way. So yeah.
yeah, but I've changed. I'm a changed man. At some point, I just asked myself, okay, why care so much about the market value of it if you're
Right.
absolutely never going to sell it? On my soul, I would rather tell my children to fucking burn it rather than sell it. Why would I sell it?
Holy shit.
That is not true. That is not true. I would let my the ones that come after me sell it, but I would never, right? So I don't really give a shit. So ask yourself that. I mean, if you
No,
find it so
that's a good
pretty,
point.
just see how it feels in your hands, dude. So you like
Yeah.
it? And
I mean,
no judging.
dude, no, like, yeah, look, I know, I like I said,
Mhm.
me and you both had some choice words about, but look, I was like you, I was like, man, I'm not really feeling it. It didn't really look like it was
Mhm.
that appealing to me. But then I saw the guy in the video, and it looked really, really nice, and I was like, man, well, that looked nice
Oh,
just on my stand or something, even if I don't use it.
Mm, I get it.
Um, so anyway, I'm gonna think about it. You make a good point, though. That is a good point. If I'm not looking to sell my stuff, then why does it matter? But I don't know. It's just like I try to, as I get more things, and I'm able to collect stuff. I don't want to open up everything. Like I have like I said,
Mm,
that copy of, I know the game is getting like dog shit on right now, but there's like the steelbook version of the newest Halo. I have it, and it's a
uh-huh.
steelbook version, and it might not be worth shit. It might not, but the fact that I have a copy still in the wrapping, I have it digital because of Game Pass, so I don't ever have to open it. So it's
Mm,
like, if I can hold on to it, just keep it in the wrapper, then I'll do it. I have a copy. This is going to be a sad story here, so don't cry on it. But I know we're getting off the subject of God of War. We'll get back to that. My cousin passed away 2 years ago, and he passed away before Final Fantasy VII Part One came out, and he was really looking forward to playing that game, and he
Mhm.
wasn't around to play it. So what I did was when I bought my copy for PS5, I bought two. Actually,
Okay.
I bought one, and by the luck of the draw, whatever you want to call it, I know you're not. I know you're not a religious guy, but I don't know if a hand of God. I don't know if it's the
No.
universe. I don't know. Uh, they sent me two copies of the game, and how I always saw it was
Oh.
okay. Well, I'm like, okay, so that must be his copy. So I've always kept it. So I have a copy of Final Fantasy VII Remake, sealed, never opened, and it'll
Mhm.
always be his copy. I'll probably never ever touch it. I'll never open it. So
Well,
anyway,
that
I
was
know
a
that's kind of
that
sad.
was actually no, that was actually emotional, dude. Actually, when you said that it's gonna get sad, I thought you were like playing. I thought you were gonna say, "Oh no, my steelbook got a scratch or something." But no, that was actually no.
No.
I think that's actually a nice gesture. No,
Yeah,
and forget about what my notions of what is real and isn't. I don't know. You take it for whatever it is.
no,
I
that's
wouldn't
right.
know how to interpret it.
I'm just saying, like, whatever you want to believe.
Mhm.
I feel like it had to been like something of higher because
It's
I was,
something.
it was kind of cool, at least how I see it. It was like, oh man, well,
Yeah.
something was looking out for me. It was like, well, wait, don't forget your copy for your cousin, and it's pretty cool.
No, it's really nice. It's
Yeah.
very nice thought.
All right, so now
So
let's
right,
shit.
time to get on the.
Let's
Oh
shit
no.
on God of War Ragnarok. So all right. So the game's not shit, obviously. All
But
right. So let me go down the timeline here. The first 2 hours, I was blown away.
mhm,
I was blown away. I thought that, wow, like, I'm playing greatness. This is already game of the year, and it will get game of the year. Let's be real.
probably, yeah.
And I'm sitting here like, wow, this is truly greatness. This is everything I want in a sequel, in a proper sequel to an already established world and gameplay mechanics that was already presented in 2018. We're just getting that. We're just getting part 2 of that in Ragnarok. That's what I wanted. There was people bitching, calling this DLC, and people were saying that, oh, this game looks like it's half-assed. And I'm like, are you
What are they
kidding me?
on
What are you
about?
talking about, man? Are we even looking at the same game? Um,
Someone's playing on PS4. Clearly.
yeah, or someone's playing an Xbox and can't touch it. So, all right. So the first 2 hours were great. Like you said, the Thor fight was a highlight. I thought the Thor fight was awesome. I love the actor that plays Thor, Ryan Hurst. He plays in Sons of Anarchy. He's played in The Walking Dead and a bunch of other stuff.
I didn't recognize him.
Yeah, in The Walking Dead, he plays a very beastly looking person because he plays a character named Beta. I don't know how far you are into the Walking Dead comics, but there's characters called Alpha and Beta, and basically
I did not get there.
Okay, well, they're a leader of a group called the Whisperers, and they basically wear walker skins, and they herd a bunch of walkers and stuff. They live like very animalistic, and so there's Alpha and then there's Beta, and so Beta is Ryan Hurst. And what were you gonna say?
Like wolves, I get it.
Yeah, yeah. So I like that guy a lot. His voice fits that role. I love his look. Another thing that I was surprised to not hear you say was I thought Odin was kind of interesting. I thought he was cool, even though we only got to see him for. I've only seen him for one scene so far.
Same here. I didn't. There are actually a lot of little details that I didn't mention, but yeah, Odin,
yeah. I thought Odin.
When I first saw him, the guy. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
the guy opens the door.
Yeah,
he opened the door, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Then I see the eye patch. Like, oh shit, is that?
Yeah, he's got his arms out, and the ravens come to his arms. Yeah, I thought that was pretty great, and I liked his demeanor. They made him kind of more sarcastic, and I liked his dialogue, even though it was just like when he knew Mimir was there. Mimir just fucking hates Odin, so he's like, "Yeah, you can hear me, you asshole."
Yeah,
and I thought that was.
He tells it like Snow is wet. He's fucking lying.
Yeah, Snow is wet. Yeah. But yes, I thought he was great. I thought Thor was great. The fight was awesome. But then you get to the first Atreus gameplay. This is where I kind of lose it because it's nothing. Look, I like Atreus's gameplay. Matter of fact, I love Atreus's gameplay. Okay. So I agree with everything you're saying. I just don't have an attachment towards Atreus. Like when. Let's go to Last of Us for a second, right? Obviously, that's a game that me and you both feel very, very strongly about. I love Ellie. So because I had such an attachment to Ellie, I love playing as her. So I wanted to see her journey. Now, while in 2018 they really they kind of because they show you the events of Ragnarok and what things are to come and everything, they pretty much hinted that this part of the story coming up was going to be Atreus focus because obviously Atreus is, Loki. He's a big part of this.
He's the champion of the giants.
Correct. So he's a huge part to play in Ragnarok. So I can expect him to play a bigger part. My thing is, he seems like a brat to me. He's just very. He's a big brat. I know he's a child. I get that.
He's 14.
But he's I know, and that it's realistic. But he's a fucking brat, And I just. When he starts talking, it's like I can't. I want look. This is me, okay? If you don't agree with this, that's fine. It's nothing wrong.
All right, no, that's cool.
When a game is called God of War, I want to play as the God of War. Okay. I don't
Okay,
really want to
that's
play
fair.
as the son of the God of War. You know what I mean? I look genuinely. I'm not saying I hate Atreus. I'm not saying he's a bad character. I think he's a well written one. He's just annoying to
Mhm.
me. He doesn't listen to his dad, which I get that. When you're young, who listens to their parents? But
Right.
at the same time, okay. I know Kratos is very he doesn't talk a whole lot. He's not very
Right.
open with his past, right? But I
Mhm.
would after I found out that we're gods and that my dad was this, this force of nature. I feel
Right.
like and I don't here's the thing, and maybe you can explain this to me. I don't
Right.
know how much Atreus knows of everything that happened. I don't know if he knows that Kratos killed the entire Greek pantheon. I don't know if he knows that. I'm not sure if he knows all of that. He might
I
know
don't
some of it.
know either. I don't know either. I don't think that I really don't think that Kratos opened up to him about that. I don't think he opened up to anyone about that.
Yeah, well, he probably doesn't want to talk about it, which I
Yeah, I,
understandable. I
yeah,
mean, he done
right.
slaughtered everybody. He has no family. It's like so I get it. So like I don't know. Like I feel like to me, like even though Atreus is young, I feel like with everything they've seen in the journey prior, that he would be a little bit more I
Mature.
guess I get yeah, mature, but I guess listen to his father a little bit more. Like, okay, I think he knows at
Mhm.
least a little something, and maybe I should listen to him. And then I kind of agree with what Kratos was saying about we're not hiding. I
Mhm.
understood what Kratos said. Kratos is like, listen, if these are the last days, I would rather just be. I know we got to have a game here, right? So shit's got to happen,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
But I get what Kratos was saying. He was just like, look, if this is the last days, I'd rather just be together. You know, I mean, that's kind of his whole
Right.
thing. And one thing
Mhm.
I like that you were mentioning like really good, warming like parts of the story. What I really like is seeing Kratos treat Atreus more of a like you see that love for Atreus
Oh,
more. And this one, like
much
he
more.
never calls him boy. Have you noticed
We
that?
never cause the boy. I noticed that too. Yes.
I was watching this guy stream it like for a little bit. Well, after I played, of course, I won't try to
Uh-huh.
spoil it for myself, but I was watching this guy, and dude's like, Kratos hasn't called him boy yet. He's like, he's not going to. It was different in the first game. In
Yeah,
the first game, he was learning
exactly.
how to be a dad, and then for him to to really have this strong connection with Atreus, he calls
That's
him
true.
Atreus now, and I like that, dude. I thought that was great, and
No, exactly. He warmed up to him. Yeah, it's true.
yeah. So anyway, my explanation might not be as drawn out as yours because my throat doesn't feel great. But
Oh, that's all right.
what I will say is I the Atreus story stuff and you may feel differently. I feel it slows down the story. I'm a
Mhm.
little like when I'm playing through it, I'm just like all right, man. Like the first one when you're going to find Freya, right? Atreus
Mhm.
has this great idea. Hey, let's go talk to her. Maybe she'll be on our side if she understands, and she does not. She doesn't kill him.
Yeah.
She
Spoiler
doesn't.
alert. Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't. She doesn't kill him or anything. But she's like, if you come back here, I will kill you. And I'm
Mhm.
telling you right now, like, I like you, but your dad's gonna fucking die. You know what I mean? That's pretty
Yeah.
much what
Yeah.
she's saying. So it's like, and you get why she's being the way she is. Because obviously her son getting killed right in
Mhm.
front of her. She just doesn't want to see reason. Like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like even though Balder was trying to kill her at the end of God of
Mhm.
War 2018, she could not let that go. That
Yeah.
someone actually killed her son. Like I think it was just so more of a
Yeah.
shock that wow, this actually happened, as
That's
opposed to
true.
holy shit, my son's dead kind of thing. It
Yeah.
might be
Well, it's
more of
also
like
that.
what you gonna say?
When sorry, I was gonna say it's more of the thing that if she realized that her son was gonna kill her, she was like, "I would rather die than see my son." That is more like that.
Yeah, yeah, dude. And I mean, that's like an unconventional. That is like
Mhm.
unconventional love right there. I guess in a twisted way.
You're
It's
right.
like it's
Yeah.
almost
Mhm.
like I would rather. Yeah, I would rather. Yeah, I don't want to see my son die. I'd rather die first. So kind of thing.
Yep.
So, but yeah, the gameplay is top notch, like I expected. I do like how you can add elemental damage to your weapons by holding triangle.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
like I love look to me, man. I like the Chains of Chaos, but I like the Leviathan axe. I try to run with
Me
that like
too. Oh, thank
whenever I
God. Yeah,
can,
me too.
and I like I
Honestly, every
what
time I have to pull them out, I'm like, oh, fine,
yeah,
sure.
when
Fine.
I see yeah when I see people using the Chains of Chaos, one it feels like I'm cheating.
Oh,
It does
okay.
like I guess it feels like the the mechanics you use does feel a little bit more cheaper than the axe. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but to me, I like the axe. I feel like I feel more power when I'm using the axe. I like the
It has
abilities
more
better.
weight to it.
Yeah, right. I
You know,
agree.
yeah, when it
So
comes to with the chains, they're like, you're just flying around until they're dead. With the
yeah,
axe, you fucking kill it on, you fucking slam it on their fucking skull, and then you throw them away. It's more,
yeah. I feel like there's too much going on with the chains. Like I feel like if
true.
when you start
Yes.
swinging them around, it's good for damage control. Like if you have like 10 enemies coming at you, then yeah, pull out the
Yes,
chains. You can sit there and do an ability, blast them back, and then
I
I just
agree.
pull the axe back out, man. And the hand-to-hand combat is just as fun too.
That's true.
Nothing negative. Nothing negative I have to say personally about it is the combat. Now, here, which brings me to one of my last points, and I probably have more, but we'll just have to keep talking, and I'll think of some more.
All right.
The last thing I will say, and maybe you have this too, but then again, you're having a blast playing it. I finished God of War 2018 like 3 or 4 months ago. So
Oh,
coming into this game, I felt pretty damn comfortable with the controls. And therefore, I have to say it, I feel like I've been there, done that with this game. I feel like
well,
because the combat and the controls are they're pretty much identical.
yes.
I feel like I've been there, done that, and therefore I'm not having as much fun as I would like to. And that's
Uh,
honestly, I'll be honest with you, Jan. If nothing else, and maybe it's just because maybe if I took a little break or if I played it at a different time, I maybe would feel completely different about it. Like really, like we can come back and talk about this in 6 months, and I could be like sitting here sucking this game off. Like,
mhm.
but as of right now, like I'm not having as much fun as I'd like to.
Man, you're not feeling it. That's actually
Mhm.
horrible to hear.
Yeah.
No, you might be onto something because
Okay.
the last time I played the last game was 3 4 years ago. I mean, I
Mm.
like in
Mm.
2019.
Okay.
2019, that's when I
Yeah.
played it last time. So I guess it
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense that you feel a bit burned out. Well, I'm just out there. Yeah, I'm playing like a revamp, not a revamp, like a better version of that gameplay I played 3 years ago. So of course I'm not. Yeah, I'm not so used to it.
Hmm.
But I will say that when I heard, I don't know if you heard, but they said something about the main campaign lasting about 40 hours. And though I am having fun, right? I really am. I can't wait to keep playing it. But I am afraid that eventually I am gonna feel burned out. I am gonna get to a point where I'll say,
Hmm.
okay, when I'm ready to wrap this up. I'm like,
Yeah.
let's finish this.
And
But we
see,
haven't got there yet. I'll update you on that.
yeah, and see that's worrisome, man, because to me, like when I'm playing a game, if I get to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm ready for it to be over,
Mhm.
I wouldn't say the game failed because see, my thing is, I don't know how you are. I know you got a lot of stuff going on in your life too, but in mine, it's like I already have like a very short window of when I can really play. Like I cannot play games at nighttime, dude. I've tried. I've done better. I've done a lot better, but I do more of my gaming better when I'm off and it's in the morning. I do a lot better.
Mhm.
I have more time. I feel more awake. I just had breakfast and I can sit down and play the
Right.
game. And because of my short window, I need this is going to sound so simple minded because I hate people like this. But you kind of, it's like if a game can't hold me for like longer than like 10 hours, I sometimes just drop it and then I won't pick it back up.
Mm,
And I'm not going to do that with Ragnarok. I do like it enough. And look, my thing is my anticipation for the story. I'm excited for the
that's true.
story and to see where it ends off. Is Kratos going to die? I don't know shit, by the way, about
Oh,
that.
that we didn't talk about that. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Is
The
Kratos
the
going to actually
prophecy.
die? Is Atreus going to die? Is Ragnarok actually going to happen? Is the Norse world as we know it in the nine realms going to just fall into a black pit and never be seen again? Are Kratos and Atreus going to make it out? Are they going to go to another culture? They're going to go to another part of the
Yes,
world? Are they going to fight
yeah.
Egyptian? Like, because there is a big
Imagine
thing
that.
that Egyptian gods may be the next thing they go to
Oh
in this
yeah.
series, and that would be sick, dude. Think about
I
the
mean,
like, huh? What were we gonna say? Sorry.
I'm saying it's anything goes. It could be
Right.
really
Yeah.
anime mythology, right?
Yeah. But yeah, and so like I'm more of intrigued about the end and what comes after. And I don't mean like I don't want to rush the game, but I'm
Oh,
just excited to see where the characters leave off for
right.
whatever. And here's the thing, God damn it, we better get God of War, whatever the fuck they want to call it. PS5 only. PS5 only.
Yeah, that's true.
No PS4 bullshit. I'm so tired of this shit. I'm so done.
Well, yeah, to be honest, like Ragnarok, as you said, it runs so fucking well. I have no idea how does this run on last gen. Like, if this has been compromised by last gen, I cannot even imagine, something that's actually current gen could do, right?
Well,
that's like the limits of the possible.
Well, they already said that, man. They said that at the end of the day, they made this game for base PS4s.
That's true. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
if this is made for PS4, if this is compromised, imagine if it could be more. If it were limitless.
Just imagine. You know why? Because all you can do is imagine. All you can do is imagine that shit. Because they will not leave these trash ass consoles in the wind. Leave them alone, dude. Nobody.
But here's the thing. You know what would happen if they did that? You know what would happen? You had like a bunch of people, right, that either could not afford a PS5 or could not manage to grab one.
Right.
Now, as to why they could not manage to grab one, I'll leave it up to their conscience. But a bunch of people that are still stuck with their PS4s going, oh shit, I've been promised, to get the sequel, to get my ending on my PS4, and I have to buy. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I know this is a tangent, but when Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is Remake Part 2, when that was announced, and that was announced to be PS5 only, people were like, "Oh shit! So now what? I gotta buy a new console to buy a full remake." Oh man, what a fucking cash grab! Yes, exactly. You know the meme of the fucking guy, the blonde guy. Yes. But going back to what you were saying, that mindset you just described to me about the thing you're most excited about is the ending. That's very dangerous. That's how I felt about Horizon 2. The whole thing, as soon as they introduced aliens, I was like, okay, I don't give a shit about this story, right? I want to see Horizon 3 that's in fucking space, right? Because Horizon 2 felt like a fucking rehash of Horizon 1, and it was. But like, okay, aliens are here. Now I'm interested. Now I'm hooked. So now I play to the end of the game because, I can't wait for Aloy to see, I'll use this ore to make a fucking spaceship. That doesn't happen, spoiler alert. The alien threat just disappears. They just go, we killed this one troop. And they're like, okay, no more. All the aliens are never interested in Earth ever again.
Right.
But, so yeah, that's... But I do agree with you. I'm mostly enjoying my journey through, of course. But what you said about Atreus' parts slowing the story, I actually feel the opposite way. Actually, I would rather... I'm more excited when I see an Atreus section than when I see a Kratos section where I'm, going on the fucking minecart. Like the minecart part.
What are you talking about?
You know it.
Minecarts. The minecart. Oh, you go
on a train. You're in the mines. When you're looking for tier.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah.
Sorry.
I would. No, sorry. It's all right. It's all right. Sorry. So yeah. I am more excited. At least I feel. I don't know. Maybe it's just the novelty of it. But I feel like I'm more engaged in the Atreus sections than in these prolonged Kratos sections where I'm, going through the marshlands.
Why?
I'm telling you. Okay, all right. I'll do a bit of introspective here. It could be because of the novelty of it. Like, oh shit, I'm playing as Atreus.
Okay.
B, I feel like the Atreus sections are more story dense. There are more cutscenes interspersed in between. Or if there is the same amount, the cutscenes that are interspersed are more significant. Like with Kratos going, what happens between them going into the mine and finding Tyr? Nothing. They keep talking about how they're looking for Tyr. How is this the right door? No, it isn't. And Kratos goes, well, Atreus, he might not be behind any of these doors. And Atreus goes, oh, Dad, you don't know that. It's that 5 times. I'm not complaining about the dialogue. I think it's written in a way that it's never stale. But that's the long and short of it, right? Long and short of it is them just bickering about it. Well, the Atreus sections, I don't know. There's more to it, I feel. Maybe it's because we usually don't get to hear as much of Atreus' point of view. Like when Atreus and Sindri talk, they're like, Sindri tells him, "Oh, what's that around your neck? Are you really gonna go to Freya with a thing that started the fight against her son?" And he's like, "Well, I don't know. It makes me feel strong. It makes me feel brave." We get a bit of more characterization, and I mean, there's only really 2 Atreus sections. There's that one, and then there's the Angerboda one. And I like the Angerboda one because I felt like it had a lot of story in that one. You get to find out what happened to the giants. We get to see the prophecy, where, according to which apparently Kratos dies, and Loki or Atreus starts serving Odin. What amazes me the most? I'm wondering, how did they pack so much story in one game? I hope that there's no cop out. I hope that within the next 5 hours I play, they just dismantle all these plot points,
right?
In the most boring way possible. I really hope they don't, because if they manage to be consistent as they are now, I cannot wait. As you said, I'm excited about the ending, but also gonna wait to see how that transpires. What does it mean? Why is the Trace serving Odin? What's happening?
It almost makes you feel like maybe they do it beautifully where we won't really think so, but it makes you think maybe they should have done like a trilogy with the Norse.
Oh, have you?
Because it's a lot to unwrap here. I mean, it's a lot to get into and a lot of story to wrap up. And I don't know if they can do it. I mean, what'd you say? It's supposed to be like it's supposed to be like a 20-hour story, right? But like if you want
I've been more of that. It's longer than the original God of War. I don't remember the exact digits, but it's like 30 to 40, something like that.
Holy crap!
Yeah, but and going back to and you're already burned out. Exactly, that's what I was gonna say.
Right.
No, what you said about it being a trilogy, they actually talk about that. Cory Balrog, or whatever his name is.
Right.
The Street Fighter looking guy. So he said, "Well, yeah, we had always had in mind to make it a trilogy, but then we saw that it took us 4 fucking years there's the second one out. So we decided, okay, let's make this. Let's not prolong this more than used to, because I don't know if you remember, but in God of War 1 and 2, it was just 2 years. God of War 1 came out in 2005, God of War 2 came out in 2007, and God of War 3 came out in 2009, I think. So it's only a 2-year wait between each installment. Now it's twice as long, right?
Yeah.
Could you imagine playing the final chapter in when would that be? 2026? Right. I guess they were just right. It's a bit daunting. Sort of like, okay, guys, let's wrap this up.
Would that one have been PS5 only?
Imagine they're gonna stick through to the fans. It's still gonna be on PS4. It's a base PS4 game.
They gotta stop that shit, man. Because here's the thing, man. Because I think the game looks good. I've seen some gameplay on PS4. It looks good on that. But the thing about it is when I'm playing through it, it just feels like I'm playing a PS4 game, which that's not a bad thing. PS4, there's a lot of good looking, fantastic looking PS4 games. But like when I'm playing on PS5, man, I expect a different level. Even the haptics and the controller are ass, man. They're not as good. I don't think they're that good. I mean, maybe my controllers are broken. I got 15 of them. Maybe they're broken. I don't know. They don't feel.
I don't know. I'm satisfied. I don't know what your standards are with the haptics. They're doing.
I mean, they're okay.
Every time I swing with my axe, I can feel it. I feel the guy getting fucking chopped, or fucking bones crushing under the axe. I can feel that. Well, no, maybe just it's my imagination. I don't know. What I'm trying to say, it's a very intense thud, right? When you hear with the blades, they're more like a lot of interspersed The vibrations go like when it's the axe, you feel like fucking boom, you know?
Yeah,
All right, I go like, oh, fucking get there.
See, I'll actually. Do you? All right. Let me ask you this, and I'm gonna give you a little bit of homework to do after this show is over.
All right.
I want you to download God of War 2018 and load up any save you want,
Okay.
and I want you to go in. I want you to go into combat with the Leviathan axe, okay? And swing it a few times, get in a couple of encounters. All right, then exit that game out, start up Ragnarok, and try it, and see if you feel a difference. Because to me,
All right.
I feel a difference. I've done that. I feel that the axe. I feel like the axe is way more impactful in 2018, and it's
even better. Okay. You're saying that it's even better. Okay.
I would say it's a little heavier, man. I like it's just it might be even like minute. It might not be like anything crazy, but it seems to me that it is a little bit heavier. And for me, I think me and you could agree on this. I think especially with the Leviathan axe, we want to feel like the impact of the swings. Like that's one reason why I don't use the Chains of Chaos all that much, because I want to like bash some freaking skulls in. Another thing I will say, add on to the combat, I do feel like this one is gorier. I do feel like there's more gore.
It's much more violent, yes.
Which I do like.
Yeah, little executions. Like if I can, you chop this guy's head off. If you look to the little details, I noticed that sometimes, when you just kill an enemy without like a glory kill, you just whittle their health away. Even then, like sometimes these guys end up without an arm or some shit before disappearing. Yeah, it's I noticed that too. Like the most violent thing that happened in 2018 was him doing that. There's a part where against the trolls he chisels their neck or something like that.
Right.
The extent of it. Yeah, I guess they were more comfortable now. They're like, okay, we know we're gonna get in sales. Like angry parents are not gonna stop us. We will get our money. Let's go all out.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty good. It's still not like in the same level as like the original ones, but it's like you said that those are kind of like, because the story
a bit ridiculous, right?
Not that the story wasn't good, but it wasn't cinematic in a sense where you could feel for these characters any. Like you could feel for Kratos, what happened. He had a tragic past and everything. But after that, he's just a murdering machine. So, like, while the gore was awesome, it's just like it didn't really hit as hard. But imagine imagine if the gore was up to that level in these games, but then it had the same story. it would hit
honestly.
Way more.
Yeah, honestly, in 2018, I was kind of expecting that. Like, I went in expecting that, and then I was a bit disappointed by that.
Disappointed?
Well, yeah, because as I said, when I said that I don't like gratuitous violence, I mean that I don't like it, as you said, when there's no impact on it, there's no narrative impact on it, right? As you said, it's just the guy killing in the most brutal way possible, right? I'm like whatever. At some point, I just become desensitized. If not desensitized, then actually repelled, right?
I just as a sidebar, you hit a really good point there, because there was a movie I just watched. By the way, it's on the channel if you ever want to check it out. But it's I did a movie review for a film called Terrifier. Have you heard of that? Terrifier?
I did hear about it. I have no clue what it is though.
Yeah, it's about this clown. His name is Art, A-R-T, the clown, and he basically he kills people in the most gruesome ways possible. And one of the kills is, honestly, I'm still thinking about it because of how effed up it was. And so I'm a horror guy. I love horror movies, but they just made Terrifier 2, and it's in the theaters. And apparently it was making people vomit and shit in the theater because it was so gross. Now, I don't know how, a lot of people today are very like, some people.
They said that about Twilight too. They said it at Twilight too. The Breaking Down part 2, the baby scene. There was a part where she gives birth.
And people were throwing up at that?
Yeah. Some guy said he feels sick. He wanted to get out of the theater.
Anyway, so there's in the movie Terrifier 1, which I made the video on, there's a kill where so the clown is going after these 3 girls, and one of the girls he kidnaps, he hangs her upside down.
Okay.
and she's got like no clothes on. The only thing she
All
has
right.
on is like whatever, some underwear, whatever she had on, whatever.
Uh-huh.
And he had her upside down. Well, anyway, he captured the other girl and he put her in a chair. And he had like a hacksaw. He walks over to the
Okay.
girl, takes off her bottoms, and starts sawing her from there down to her
Oh,
head
damn.
with a
And they
hacksaw.
showed it, and they shot it.
They showed
They
it,
show.
bro. They showed
Wait,
it.
let me make sure I know what a hacksaw is. Let me see. I can
It's
look at
just
it. Oh,
it's just a
damn.
hand. Yeah, it's
Okay,
just a
I
hand.
see it
Yeah,
now. Okay.
yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's got no motor. It doesn't run on gas. It's just a hand. It's just a handsaw. And
How slow it is. I
what is
mean,
that?
that's how slow it is. I mean,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
takes
dude.
some time, right?
Yeah, dude. It had to be sharp as shit because you got to go through all that. And so, what was effed up about it was while he's doing it, he's looking back at the other girl, like smiling
Uh-huh.
while he's doing it. And I thought that was one of the most fucked up things I've ever seen.
Oh man, I gotta watch this movie. I gotta watch this immediately. I just have to. I mean, I gotta watch.
What? Oh my god. You fucked up
I
bastard. That shit was like,
I mean, I don't like it, but it's the call of the void.
yeah, right.
You're not gonna enjoy it, but you just got it, right.
Dude, that whole movie is just so. I mean, I know we got off on a tangent, but we were talking about gore for the second. So
No,
what my point was
no,
of saying that was
thank you for showing this to me.
no. I look. It's not a bad movie. It's just gory as shit. But like it has gore for so there's not much story there, so they had to put in the
Mhm.
gore to give you something. And for people like us, we see that shit. And we're like, okay, that's fine. But where's the story
Mhm.
at? If you give me a little bit more story, and then he's over here sawing bitches in half, it's like, okay,
There we go. Now you're cooking. Now-
yeah, you're cooking now, yeah.
No, I agree. No, I agree. That's my problem in most like horror flicks, right? You have
Yeah.
all these 30-year-old teenagers that I
Mhm.
really don't give a shit about, right? They're all
30-year-old
annoying as hell.
teenagers.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Like this fucking 30-year-olds going, oh man, I did the math assignment. Yeah, I gotta clear my we're 18 by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
And but yeah, I don't know. Like honestly, in most of the movies, I'm just rooting for the villain.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
me
yeah,
too.
just please make them suffer. Like,
Yeah, just slaughter them. Do it.
like I don't care. Like, am I supposed to be? I am. I do feel suspenseful during the scenes because I'm afraid he's not gonna catch me. I'm afraid I'm really gonna get away. Like, don't
Start running. He's in the closet. Move it.
do it.
By the
What were we
way,
talking about?
but yeah, I know we got off. By the way, I would like to hear, and maybe if we got time in the show, since you were having some technical difficulties last
Oh,
show,
that shit. Yeah.
I would like to hear the rest of your feelings on Halloween
My
Ends.
thoughts.
That was one thing I did
We
forget
will
to
do
mention.
that.
I was it feels now that I've been talking to you, I feel way better. I was not feeling great when I first started, but what I meant to
Mhm.
say to everybody watching and anybody watches later that Jan his stuff cut out too early
Uh,
before we could really get into the show. It was a good show. Me, Brandon, and Najee were able to really talk, but it sucked not having you there, man.
No, and honestly, I think I should have addressed it first. I'm actually really sorry that I couldn't be there.
Mhm.
It was very frustrating for me, extremely so. I think it was a
Yeah.
very important episode for the channel. It was really a milestone. I think we really could have had a blast, but you know,
Yeah.
shit happens, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I almost feel sorry for Brandon. Was his name? Because remember, I was not present in the last video with him either. I don't know. I don't want him to think that I'm avoiding him or some shit like that. I'm
No,
really not.
I don't think that at all, man. I think he was telling me because I've been kind of communicating with him
Mhm.
off and on. He's a good guy. We just really met him, and
Mhm.
he's really fun to do videos with. He holds a good conversation, and he pretty much just said, "Yeah, I'd love to do a show with both you guys. I've been wanting to meet your
We
co-host." And
gotta
I'm
do
like,
it. We
I
gotta
know
do it.
we'll have to collab on something that we can because
Mhm.
he's a movie buff. He's not really as much into gaming as we are. I think he
Well,
plays games, but he's more in a
we can find a
multiplayer guy.
movie. But damn, we can find a movie that we all
Yeah,
do three like. all
Yeah,
three. Something we're looking forward to. Like,
yeah. I'm sure he would. Yeah, I'm sure he'd love that. He seems down, and he loved to be on. So, I told him, man, I mean, having him on there is really good. We do really good numbers when he's on, and yeah, he's a good dude. I hope that we can all get together and do another one. So we'll have him on there.
No, definitely.
But anyway, back to God of War Ragnarok.
God of War.
So my final thoughts on it as a whole is I think it's a good game, but I feel like it's more of the same, and it's not that's not a bad thing. I want everybody to know, and including you, I think a lot of it has to do with upon beating 2018 just a few months ago. Again, I've played it through 3 times now. I played it on the hardest difficulty 3 months ago, and I beat all the Valkyries. I beat all the Valkyries. Oh my god!
Oh, and give me God of War.
Yes.
Oh man, you've seen some shit.
I did. Yeah. that might be, dude. That might be the reason why I'm kind of not into it. And I will say, let me tell you this, and I might sound like a bitch here, because of that hard time I had. I am playing it on like give me balance. I am playing it on the middle ground. I'm playing on that too. Because what I'm gonna do it. Well, here's what I was going to do. By the way, let me tell you this. So the plan is that I was going to play it on give me balance, beat the game, and then I was going to go back and play it on the hardest difficulty and play it. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. As far as replayability, I just don't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to play these fucking Atreus parts again.
You're barely like getting through them once. Let alone twice.
Dude, it's like I think the replayability in this game is going to kill me a little bit. I don't know unless the end of the game brings, like, here's the thing. I have faith in Santa Monica Studios. I have faith in Cory Barlog. I know he's not the main writer on this game. See, we need to give him some props, by the way.
His name is there. His name is in the credits.
Oh, is it? I don't remember what his name. He's the main writer in the. Cory Barlog is more of like I forgot what he is in this game because he was a director in 2018.
Right.
I don't think he's a director in this one. I think
probably right now.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, look that up. I think
I'm gonna do some snooping. Wait. The director is Eric Williams.
Eric Williams. Okay. Well, yeah, we need to give that man some props because.
By the way, I'm sorry to interrupt you so many times, but this one thing that I noticed in the opening, in the opening credits too. One of the producers is called Chad Cox, and I don't know, I just found that funny.
Chad
Come on,
Cox.
Chad Cox.
How's it spelled?
COX.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
But come on, it's still too good.
If it was spelled COCKS, I would know that. I would.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I think that the replayability is down for me as of right now, unless like the ending of the game goes balls to the it might go nuts, man. I mean, maybe I don't. Here's the thing, and maybe I don't know how you feel about it. I don't know if it's gonna go the same way as like previous entries. Like, I don't think Kratos is gonna kill all the gods or anything. I think they're going with a whole different thing this time around. Which
that's supposed to be the point, right?
Yeah. I guess like you're supposed to show that progression, right? I mean, you don't want to just going around and killing it. I mean, I'd be fine with that, but I don't really exactly want to see because, like, you gotta admit, like, a lot of these gods are dicks, man. Every god in the Greek world is a jackass. Have you seen some of the stuff they said to Kratos? They said some nasty shit to him, man. I'd kill him too.
Honestly, I'm glad you brought this up because one thing I was going to say is that I'm so thankful that this game has more of shows the Norse gods as the dicks that they are, because we're so used to the Marvel iterations where the gods are the good guys and Loki is kind of an asshole. It really isn't like that. Honestly, the Norse gods, like in Northern mythos, they're kind of, not the kind of people I'd hang around with, right? Thor has kind of, he has quite a rap shit on him. So I'm glad that we're kind of seeing we have a story, like a piece of media, when we've not been Marvelified, where Thor is not such a good guy. So yeah, we're just gonna.
I love that line. He says to Kratos. He says, Kratos goes, "Why are you here?" That's my best Kratos voice. And then Thor says, I'm trying to show kindness. Can you show kindness? And then Kratos said something like, if the situation calls for kindness or something like that.
All right,
and then Thor says something like, this situation calls for kindness.
I
like
I love that back and forth. Yeah,
it was almost like a dick measuring contest. Like Thor put Mjolnir on the table, and Kratos put the Leviathan. On the table. And I thought that was awesome. Like that entire sequence was.
Oh, the scene fantastic. Like the silence, sometimes within dialogue, the suspense of it.
The way they're just sitting at the table, like that was so unexpected. Like for them just to come in there into their house, just sitting around the table talking. I thought that was great. Like, and you can see like Odin, and I think they're going to go into this a little bit towards the end of the game. I don't know, so I'm not spoiling the game or anything. But I think that Odin doesn't like Thor all that much because you can tell, like with his mannerisms, like when he came in there and he was talking to Kratos, and he was like, "Now you killed this guy's sons." Whatever, it doesn't really matter. What did they really do to contribute to society?
Right.
And you see Thor over there, like you could see him like making a grimace on his face. And then
I didn't notice that.
Right after he said that, Odin picked up his cup that he was drinking his mead out of, and took a sip out of it, and then put it back right at his side of the table. So did you notice tension? That? Yeah.
I did not catch that. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, there's some real tension.
They could be onto something. Yeah.
I think something big is going to happen between them two. Because see, I also made a video on the channel like last week, I think, and I was talking about I think that the relationship that Thor has. See, like that's what I'm most excited about with this game is the story, as you can tell. What I think is more exciting to me is I think Thor is going to have a little bit more of a connection with Kratos and Atreus, more of like an adversary, you know what I mean? Because I think what we think is, oh man, Thor and Kratos are just going to go back and forth the entire game. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think Thor may like kind of step up for them at the end, kind of, maybe not be like, hey, we're friends now, but more of like
it's more like a frenemies kind of thing.
Yeah, like we come
and go.
Correct. Like we both want this guy dead. Talking about Odin here, we both want him dead. So let's go kill him, kind of thing. I think that would be kind of
sick, dude.
That would be. And by the way, let me tell you this. Here's something else that I noticed. So when I was watching, the voice actor for Odin, Ryan Hurst, he was unboxing the Jotnar edition. And the Jotnar edition of the game, it comes with Mjolnir. And on Mjolnir, guess what it has on it?
What?
It has It has rune slots on it. Like rune slots.
It's fucking Thor.
I don't know if you get to play as Thor, but you might be able to play with Thor's hammer at some point in the game.
Oh, that makes more sense. That makes way more sense. Yeah, right.
I got a feeling because when Thor throws Mjolnir at Kratos, he kind of catches it. Do you remember that? Like and when they're fighting,
I remember that.
He catches it for like a second, and then he throws it down.
It's true.
He does kind of catch it. So think about that, man. Kratos has Mjolnir, and the dude. Now that could be sick. Now that.
That could be awesome. If you think about it, it works. It could be like one of those things where it's a end game kind of thing. Like instead of Leviathan, you have Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Right, because it works the same way, right? You throw it, you call it back. You could be onto something. You're such a genius, you just for that. Man, I esteem you so much. I would have never. That's true.
I don't know if that's going to happen though. Don't get your hopes up, but it does have the rune slots on it.
It does have the rune slots.
So what that makes me think is that if it's got rune slots, man, wouldn't you get it kind of earlier? That way you can upgrade it. Like I don't know.
And then it clicks, right?
Right.
And then you have the light bulb moment. Dude. Honestly, when I saw that, because they draw attention to it too, to the rune slots, right? It goes on right here. We have the rune slot.
Yeah.
All I could think about when I saw that was like the materials from Final Fantasy. You know how in Final Fantasy VII?
Oh yeah.
You have the same shit. You put the materials in. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it completely flew over my head. Damn, that's crazy, no?
Yeah.
Honestly, I decided if you do not get to brandish Mjolnir by the end of the game, then this game is shit. And I'm selling it and I'm installing it. No, I'm kidding. So that is fucking great.
So if you don't get Mjolnir, you're selling the game.
I'm actually selling the game, and I actually forbid you from ever mentioning it again on this show.
I'm gonna say I fucking love it, dude. Look at my new controller.
No.
Look at
No.
dude. I don't know, like, because here's the thing, like, I think if you were able to wield Mjolnir, that would add a little bit more to the gameplay because Mjolnir is like lightning based. So think about those attacks that you'd be able to land. Like,
Well,
you probably will
it's
do
not even
one
like.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry. I was gonna say they're not like even that much of a stretch. Like in 2018, we got the Blaze of Chaos very late, and I've been noticing. I don't know, maybe it's just visual thinking, but I have been noticing that I've been getting a lot of EXP. Like I'm only at 12-hour mark, so I'm not even like halfway there, and I already almost got all of the abilities. Just saying, coincidence much?
Right.
Coincidence.
You already got all the abilities for Kratos?
Well, not all of them, but like for the Blaze of Chaos and Leviathan, I'm really only missing the tier 4 ones. The ones at the very bottom. I don't know. Maybe at some point it expands and it goes all the way down.
Yeah. I knew something was going to go kind of because like I don't know if you noticed when I went to go at the beginning of the game when I was going to put a bit like start applying some of my abilities with my my skill points here. When you go to Atreus's page, Atreus only had like 3 abilities available, and it was like a blank screen. And I knew that I should have knew right there
something
that you were going to play as him more. And here's my thing: I kind of hope though that by the end of it, if the whole Mjolnir thing happens, I really hope he's not the one to pick up Mjolnir. I hope it's
Oh my god, that's like the biggest, like monkey paw kind of thing. You do get to be Mjolnir, but it's just fucking Atreus. That would look ridiculous. He has like these stubby little arms, and he's wielding.
I will say though, his gameplay. I will say his gameplay is fun.
It's fun. It's fun.
I do not like, and this isn't just Atreus's gameplay, but at the beginning there, I think you mentioned it. These little lizard things that would crawl on the ground towards you. I hated those. They were a fucking nuisance. I don't know what they were there for, and
why.
And it's just, I mean, really, you couldn't think of anything else to put at these parts. I will say though, the enemy variety is pretty good. Although I feel like in some spots it's still some of that. I feel like I'm fighting the same shit in certain parts of the game. Like it does change, but like in the beginning when you're just fighting those humanoid, I don't know what they're called, raiders, I guess what they call them at the very beginning.
That's what they call them. Yeah.
Yeah, like when you kept fighting that, it's like, dude, these bitches just kept coming, and it's like there's no like they didn't vary in what they look like or anything.
Yeah, there's like. Have the melee ones and the one that throw shit at you. That's the variety you get as far as those enemies go.
Yeah.
And then later on, you get enemies that do not inflict direct damage to you. They inflict Bifrost, which that's I mean, I'm not complaining. It's just something like it's a mechanic through there. Basically, what happens, from what I understood, because I'm not really paying attention to it, the first time they hit you, they do not deal damage. But it highlights a lot of your health bar, and if it hits you again, then you lose that much of your health bar. Did I get that right? Okay.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it won't take your health. It'll kind of like your health will start kind of going like decreasing, and then if you take a hit, it'll just like whatever you haven't lost, you've just lost it as soon as you get hit.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, and it's kind of an interesting way of combat. I will say, and again, to go back to the gameplay, it felt kind of run of the mill. That beginning sequence where you didn't have any abilities or anything like that, I was getting kind of bored with it because I was used to having a bunch of abilities, and the fact that I had a level 1 axe and all I was doing was just swinging that shit R1 R2 R1 R2. And I was like,
They do not even give a proper explanation for Kratos just forgetting all of his abilities. They do give an explanation from him losing all his equipment.
His armor,
He goes like, I used it.
I used it,
bro.
Try
Bro.
not to break this. Try not to break these. No.
Yeah. No, I love that. God, I love it so much.
I like the little like the subtleties. Like even like when you're in the when you're at Brock or Sindri's shop and they're making armor for you. When you select an armor piece and you put it on, Kratos will say small little things like, "It fits nice" or something like that. It'll say like, it fits or very good or something like that. Like shit he never said in 2018. Like he's so much more friendlier in this game to a certain degree.
No, it's true. He even like you haven't got to there yet, but it's in the part you're in right now. But he even said, okay, just like a light spoiler. Basically, there's this dialogue between him and Freya, right? And Freya goes, "Well, like don't you think that your depth towards me is gonna be just gonna vanish just because you did this one thing?" And Chris goes, "Okay, all this that I'm not doing it because of any depths. I would have done this either way." I'm doing this. I protect my friends and I protect my son, right? Yeah. In fact, he even says the word friends. It's like, I don't know, hearing Kratos say friends is, bruh, it's so
dude. Well, when he protects her from Atreus, when Atreus turns into the bear, because like Freya gets the upper hand on Kratos, and like Kratos knows right away. He looks at her sword when she's got the helmet on and stuff, and he's like, like Freya, and then like Loki was not having that shit. Loki turned into the bear, and he was coming at her, and Kratos like calming down, like, "Stop! She's with us. She's with us." Like saying like that.
She was our friend. Yeah.
Yeah, was our friend. Yeah, and I was like, "Holy crap, man! What some character?
Who is this guy?
Growth, man! Like who is? Yeah,
but it's so organic. It's done so well. Because honestly, as much as surprised I was, it did not feel unnatural.
Yeah, no, it didn't.
Yeah, it's not a 180. Okay, this is gonna be like a huge reach, but I remember in The Last of Us Part 2. In a relish in this, I'm going to say something bad about The Last of Us Part 2. There's this the whole relationship with Ellie and what's her face?
Dina.
Get
it right.
No, sorry.
I like Dina.
So, you like Dina? All right. So I never liked. Like I always felt like they had absolutely like zero chemistry, right? And I feel like their interactions kind of change. They get warmer out of fucking nowhere. Like at the beginning of the game, right? There's this part where Dina is trying to be cute, right? She's trying to be flirty, and Ellie's kind of not having it. She's going like, she kind of just grunts. Yeah. Dina's something like, I don't remember what she says. She tries to compliment Ellie, like in a very, ambiguous way. And Ellie goes, dude, like what? And right. And then only like 1 or maybe like 2 hours later, gameplay hours later, they're out there calling each other babe. I'm like, what the fuck happened here? What the fuck? So so in contrast, I think that God of War's progression is way more organic.
Yeah, that is true, because like I'm trying to think. All right, the series of the Go to the Last was Part 2 back there, so I can compare it to this, because they didn't really start calling each other babe until when they had that evening in that weed parlor. It was like it was
dude,
like
it's not even there. It's not even there. It's in fucking Seattle. It's in fucking Seattle when you're walking the open world map, the open level. They're just out there, just turning out, "Hey babe, check this out." I'm like, "Oh, thanks, babe." And I was there, like, wait, what did I miss? Like, what happened?
The wheat. So, like, when they went down to that basement or cellar or whatever, that was before they went to Seattle, right?
That was before. But they might have called each other babe on that one. I honestly don't remember, but I do remember that I was taken aback when they started, just having these little pet names all of a sudden. Well, before Ellie was, very, as much as Ellie clearly liked Dina, she was a bit, she wasn't too open to it. She was a bit she's distant. Yeah, she was a bit distant, right?
Okay.
And to go from there to going, hey girl, hey hot stuff, how about we check out this fucking bag?
No, that's a good point. It does seem more natural because it's like we talked about before with Atreus and Kratos. The Kratos calling him boy to calling him by his birth name, calling him his real name. So I did like that. And seeing his growth, man, I'm fine with that. Like a lot of people said, man, we want to see this vicious, we want to see this god killer force of nature, but this just isn't that part of the story anymore. I'm not saying you won't get glimpses of that. You will get that. You will get the. I mean, kills.
You do.
Yeah, you do. It's just not in the same fashion, though. I mean, dude, like Kratos did some absolutely savage shit. And
I mean, he's a bit softer, but I mean, honestly, that's okay. It might turn off some people, but it's what drew me into this new part of the franchise. It's more of a. I mean, I don't want to say it, but it's more mature, right? It makes more sense that this war veteran is kind of sick of it. He does not want to fight so much. He's not fueled by rage anymore. Right. He's just trying to have a simple life.
Well, the only thing I will say, like, if you want to call it a negative, I don't know. I wouldn't say that.
But
even from like Halloween 2018, from God of War 2018. I know I've been so Michael Myers and Halloween these past few weeks. I'm trying to get out of it.
It's fine.
Ever since God of War 2018, even Corey Barlog has come out and said it, even with the whole thing with Naughty Dog, that the fact of like they were heavily inspired by how Naughty Dog makes games, and you can obviously see that with the camera angle, the way the storytelling is. But I think where you fail there, it's nothing wrong with not really copying it, taking inspiration from it. It's nothing wrong with that. But I think they try to be a little too Last of Us with Ragnarok, in my opinion, with the Atreus stuff. I feel like, and it didn't hit as good for me. I'm not, other people love it. That's fine. Hey, listen, if you love Atreus, that is fantastic.
Well, I don't love him. I just don't hate him as much as you do.
Yeah, I don't hate him. I just don't like him. He's whiny. He's a whiny bastard.
Well,
he's fun to play with, though. I will give him that.
Well, there's that. Well, I mean, I guess you're right. I think that the similarities didn't really pop in the first game as much.
Yeah.
But now you get to play the Atreus too, so it's kind of the nose.
Yeah.
You know what? Okay, I want to say one more thing, and then I kind of have to. We got to wrap these things up because it's kind of late over at my end. Can we talk about? It's oh no, I'm having a blast. Can we talk about how fucking stupid? And I hate this. God of War is not the only one that does it, but I hate that the 2018 game is called just God of War. What the fuck is up with that? And we have to say 2018.
Yeah.
Couldn't they have fucking any subtitle? Call it God of War 4. I don't give a shit. Call it something.
Yeah.
I hate it when franchises do this. And every franchise does it. Tomb Raider did it. Both the games and the movies. Halloween did it. Friday the 13th did it. Rambo did it. What the fuck? What is happening? Like when when you say what are you playing? I think I'm stealing this joke from AUGN, but when someone's saying what are you playing? I'm playing God of War. Oh, are you playing the 25 one or 2018? Like, I don't know. Can we just
no, they could have done something. Like I was trying to think of a subtitle while you were saying that.
Or something like
God of War 9 real. Nah, maybe not that.
But it's something. Yeah, but something about those lines.
Nah, see, hold on. You got me now. Give me 1 second.
Okay. The second one is called the RAGNAROK. Then the first one can be called
maybe something Fimbulwinter. I'm trying to think, something like that.
Yeah, I think that if we would have a much easier time if we were a bit more knowledgeable about Norse mythology.
That's also true.
I think that
because I'm more Greek myself. Like I know more of the stories and
you're
gods
Greek?
a bit more. I'm not Greek. I know more of the Greek stuff,
right.
Because that was more of what I love learning about. I love the stories. I actually have, my camera today. I'm trying to get things set up with my new monitor. Not with my new monitor. I've had this one for a while, but I'm using it more because I'll tell you about it at the end of the show because I know we're getting close. So I'll tell you that in a minute. But anyway, my camera angle is kind of weird today. That's why I'm more ducked down than usual. But behind me, I have the Iliad and the Odyssey. I've read both of those 2 times over. Well, several times. Not 2 times. I didn't mean to say that. Several times over. I love that story. And I think that the Greek mythology is great. I would love it, dude. I would love this. Let's end the God of War talk right here. I'm gonna make my last point. I would love for them to maybe remake the very first God of War on PS5, but maybe with the camera angle we have now, with the combat we have now. You wouldn't have the Leviathan axe, but in those games you have multiple weapons besides the Chain of Chaos. You have a bunch of stuff you can use. So I think that would be kind of cool, and to see those gods in next gen.
But it would be tricky though, because I think like the whole reimagined version we have now, it also kind of fits more this kind of storytelling, right? I think the storytelling in the first one is very different. It's a very different kind of story. I'm not saying that's impossible. I'm just saying it would be tricky. I'm saying it would not be that simple, right? They would have to kind of work for it. But sure, yeah, I'm dying.
Yeah,
that'd be great. You know, they get called the God of War too. So whenever you're playing, whenever you say I'm playing God of War or playing God of War 2005, God of War 2018, or playing the remake 2005. Which God of War are you playing? You know, that's great. You know what I hope? You hope when they make the Egyptian one, they don't call it, I don't know, God of War, the Revenge of Cyrus or whatever. No. Just call it God of War. Call it God of War 2027. I don't fucking give a shit.
That would be funny, and that'd be great. That honestly, I wouldn't even. Yeah, that'd be great. And I could see them doing
at this point, me too. Yeah, at this point, I would actually I'll be mad if they don't.
What they'll do is they'll just call it God of War, and like, you know how, like, if you look at our picture here above your head where it says the and then it has the logo. It's just it has like a pyramid there.
Oh, her pyramid, or like the eye, you know, the eye of Osiris there. I agree.
And I'll just say
so we differentiate by logos. The first one had the Omega symbol. This one has the runes. The rest one had the pyramid.
Yeah, that's right. Real quick, I'll tell you to lead off what I was saying about my camera. I actually, my father-in-law helped me build a very. It's not a light end. It's a pretty decent PC. I have a PC now.
You're a PC gamer.
He helped me build it because he's a big computer guy. I had a bunch of graphics cards. I bought the graphics card, but everything else he had. And it's a pretty decent rig. It can't play like, I don't think it would be able to play like Red Dead 2 at like 60 FPS, things like that. But I was running like Batman Arkham Knight. That's silky smooth, games like that.
Can it run Crisis?
Actually, I do have those in my cart. I haven't bought them yet, though. I would love to play that. Okay. But I'm telling you, man, like, it makes a big difference. Like, a lot of these games are on console that they will not put a patch out for. On PC, it's freaking, it's like true. Night and day, man. So
that's true, yeah.
But anyways, I say all that to say I'm trying to get because I have my tripod over here when I make videos and stuff, but I'm trying to figure out everything as we get deeper into this thing. I want to do more than just have my laptop camera or have a camera set up over here. I want to be able to fix it up. So that's why my angle looks a little weird today. Looks like I'm looking more like punched. All
right.
But yeah, so do you have anything last you want to say about Ragnarok before we tie it up?
Well, not much, except that I'll keep you updated. You know, maybe next time we'll talk about it, be like, I'm going to mention that fucking game to me. You know, maybe I won't shut up about it. So look out. Either way.
Yeah. Maybe by the time we do the show next, maybe we both have finished it, and we can kind of talk about the ending. I mean, I can't guarantee I will. Man, things have been so tough here lately. I'm gonna try though.
No, I get that. What do you call it? No strings attached. It's just
yeah. We'll try to do that. So all in all, you're having a great time.
I'm having a great time, and you're not. I get it.
You're ready to have that. No. Listen, it's a great game, and it's going to be game of the year. It should definitely beat out. It should definitely beat that.
No, don't fucking say it. No,
Elden Ring.
I'm conflicted here, man. I don't even know what I'm going to vote. Honestly, I don't know.
Do you vote?
Yeah, of course I vote. It's
Really?
my right.
It's
It's
your
my right as a gamer. As a gamer. As a
Okay.
game.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, all right. I don't do that normally, but I'm gonna push.
This
I'm gonna set up
this one
multiple
time you
accounts.
will.
Yeah, I'm gonna
This
set up
one time,
multiple
just
accounts.
not to let Elden Ring win.
Yeah,
Just
yeah. No, look, to be honest with you, if before this game, if it would have won, I wouldn't have had an issue with it because I've preached time and time again that game
right.
has great level design. I love the
Mhm.
aesthetic. I'm just terrible at it. So,
Right, right.
but just because I'm bad at a game doesn't mean I think it's dog shit. Like I'm not good at like games like Apex Legends or like
No,
Fortnite
that's
shit like that.
Fortnite.
Do I think those games are trash? Fuck yeah. No, okay, they're not. They're not okay. They're not complete shit. But look, I'm not good at it. But I'm not gonna sit here and make fun of somebody for playing some. But like we said in another show, if you're gonna sit here and play multiplayer games, what are you doing with your life when you have God of War Ragnarok available?
Ragnarok.
You got Callisto Protocol coming out in just a few short weeks.
Ooh,
You have
there's
Evil
that.
West. Evil West comes out November 20th. I'm excited for that one. Actually, matter of fact, I've reached out to I can't remember what the company's name is, and I know we don't have a lot of time, so forget it.
I don't know either.
I've reached out to the company that is making Evil West, and I was trying to get us some review codes. I was trying to get two of them. I was like, "Hey, look, me and Jan, we do run this.
We want to play your game.
We want to play your game." And I didn't even know if you were really looking forward to it, but if you got the code, I was like, "Okay, well, shoot, I'll
honestly,
get the code."
Honestly, I wasn't even planning on buying it, but if you get me a review code, I'd play fucking anything.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying, man. Like if I see somebody and I reach out to them, I'll try. I was trying to because Evil West looks pretty good to me. It doesn't look like it's super story heavy or anything, but the gameplay looks pretty awesome. And so and they're small companies. I thought for a fact we would get like a shot at maybe them giving us a code, but I'm thinking probably not.
I think we're too small, dude. I think we got a lot of growing to do.
Hey, look, hey, listen, but real quick though, look, I mean, and just to add on to that, we have actually grown quite a bit in the past few weeks. I mean, we went from this was an already pre-established channel with like 20 subs on it, and we're up to 55. We've gained 3 subscribers this week.
Well, that's not shabby.
I don't think that's bad. I mean, I'm having a good time with it, and as long as you want to keep doing this thing, we'll do it. And as long as people keep watching, we'll keep doing it. I'm trying to cut up a lot of our podcasts. I'll have to talk to you about it a little bit later because I don't want to get into specifics here, but I might need some help here trying to cut up some of the shows.
All right.
And posting pieces of it. I mean, you don't really need like the most high-tech software to do that. I'm sure you can do that.
I know how to do that.
I can like maybe send the show to you or whatever one you want to do. I'll send it to you, and then you just cut it up and just post pieces of it. I think that'd be good.
We can. Yeah, sure.
And we can post that on like TikTok, which by the way, follow us there, Deadhead. I believe it's Deadhead for the FTW underscore FTW. I think is what it is. I have it all in the description. There's links to everything. Go there. We got Instagram. We got Twitter. And yeah, maybe between me and Jan both, we'll cut up some of these segments and we'll do it. I've been trying to do that, but dude, I mean, who has all the time in the day to really watch through these jokers and put pieces up? So
I'll definitely help you. Maybe not at 2 a.m., but
okay. All right. Well, I know it's getting late for Jan over there, and I'm about to go watch some fights. Some really good fights are coming on tonight, so I'm gonna stay up for that. But thank you guys for coming to another episode of the Deadhead Podcast. We had a great time talking about God of War Ragnarok. Let us know down in the comments section. Let both of us know how you feel about the game. If our opinions are shit, if you agree with them, whatever, that's fine. We do plan to finish it, and by our next show in 2 weeks from now, we do plan to come back and we'll talk about everything. Spoiler warning through the ass in that video because we're going to talk about literally everything. And maybe even we'll go into a little bit more of Jan's take on Halloween Ends because I do want to hear that. I do want to hear that. So thank you guys for watching as always. We'll be back for another one. And we'll see you guys in the next showtime. So later, guys.
See you later.